Hey everybody, Queen Crazy here. I'm sorry I didn't get a video out on Sunday. My computer shut off after the battery ran out, and obviously there goes the video. I was going to sit down and re-record it today, but by accident I basically broke my wrestling site hiatus, which I'm not very proud of, but come on, I needed that because I got really bored going on the internet. Yeah, I need them as much as they probably need me. Anyway, I was looking through, just about to record my video this morning. I was going to record it before college, actually. And I looked on the wrestling website thinking, I'll give it a swim. Nothing big's happened, I'm sure. I went on the Bleacher Report wrestling website, and I found something that actually has quite sickened me. And I think unless you guys check it out, it's probably going to sicken you guys too. If you're wrestling fans, I'll put the link down in here. Have a look at it because it is actually. I honestly cannot believe WWE have actually done this. They are offended at being called a wrestling company. Giving you time to sink that in. Yeah, they are actually offended because I don't believe it. If you click the link, you'll see exactly what I mean, because TVWeek.com put out an article about the induction of Drew Carey into a Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, because WWE is not the word they want to put in the article. WWE, I think it was Jay McDevitt, their stupid court liaison guy, or somebody in that respect, sent an email to them saying, we are no longer, and this is I quote, we are no longer a wrestling company, but rather a global entertainment company with a movie studio, international licensing deals, publisher of 3 magazines, consumer goods, and more. I get that. But the problem is, that's retarded. But then you look at the other comment they stuck on the bottom when they refer to them as professional wrestlers. Okay, no, we don't do wrestling events. They're entertainments, and we don't call them wrestlers. They're superstars and divas. Hold on a second. I'm going to a WWE show in April, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to be entertained. Yeah, I want to be entertained, but I want to be entertained with wrestling. They are basically washing away and saying, okay, we've had 40, maybe 40, 50 years of history as a wrestling company, and now they want to get rid of it. I understood getting the F out back in 2002 when you were being sued by wildlife caring pandas who were basically going to rip you out of every bit of money you could. And to save it, you put the E on the end for obvious copyright protection reasons. I understand that. But when you say that you're not wrestlers, you're not a wrestling company, that just makes me sick. Because honestly, I have watched WWE for nearly 10 years. I have researched the art of wrestling, whether it be from moves, from commentary, stylings, etc. I have done a lot to keep myself interested. And for the honest belief that you can come out and say we're no longer a wrestling company, it amazes me that they even have the balls to say that to anybody. It's just awful. And I don't understand this. These guys who have trained their lives to be professional wrestlers who go out there putting their bodies on the line to entertain people with fantastic moves that defy belief, and people who go out there to injure themselves to prove that they can do it, and to basically have WWE say, look, you're not what we're looking for because you can't talk, or you don't look very good. Let me tell you something, what entertainers are today. They don't want wrestlers anymore because it soils a bad image of wrestlers being drugged up and alcohol fueled and people who just start a fight whenever something goes wrong. Yeah, sure, people like Jeff Hardy, Scott Hall have had their problems. But come on, the entertainers of today are probably as shit. Take a look at Mel Gibson, an alcoholic anti-Semitic guy who basically is one of the most hated guys on the planet because he's a big giant dick. Not to mention, Charlie Sheen's probably so drugged up off his ass right now that after having and scoring millions out of CBS, he's gone completely mad. And honest to God, they are what people call entertainers. They are what people call entertainers. That makes me sick to think you're putting WWE wrestlers in the same bloody thing. Because if you are effectively saying we are world wrestling entertainment, keep the wrestling and entertainment on par. I am a wrestling fan, but I am also an entertainment fan. I like things that keep me entertained, and WWE does, but it keeps me entertained through the wrestling, and it does not keep me entertained through the mediums, because the video games have let me down, the toys don't interest me anymore, and all these other things. I don't care about your shitty movies. I do not care about your stupid magazines that are so poorly written that they could technically be written by a monkey at a typewriter who is still trying to write Shakespeare for all those scientists who wanted it done nearly 60 years ago. I don't want that. I want wrestling. And if you're not willing to admit that you want wrestling anymore, then what the fuck am I doing here making this video about wrestling when when the biggest company in the world at doing it doesn't even want to admit it anymore? Because that just takes away all of the point, all of the hours I have spent watching this product to basically say we don't do that anymore. It's just retarded. And this article that I'm reading on it just makes me think, what the fuck? All you wrestling fans, I know some of you are wrestling fans who are watching this, are thinking, how can WWE say this? Because I think the key doesn't care about us. We want to see the wrestling and they're not giving it. They want the entertainment because it milks the money out. I don't honestly understand why. Because we don't hold entertainment records. These wrestlers don't hold entertainment records, they hold wrestling records. WWE is a wrestling product. It has been for years. Many will obviously say that once Vincent Kenny McMahon Jr. bought it off his dad, he wanted to globalize it and, of course, make it into this big conglomerate that was like Disney in the fact that its product was so changed that it could actually be marketed to everything. That is essentially what's happened, because Disney used to be the crown jewel of American and, in some cases, Western animation. Now, it is live-action bullshit that effectively renders it, well, has no impact at all in mainstream culture when you compare it up to its past glories. The same thing can be said here, that effectively all we're doing is seeing WWE morph from a tailored and extremely entertaining and extremely invigorating and intense wrestling product into some celebrity-fueled, kid-intended banter and promotion machine. And that is not what I want to see from a wrestling product. I don't want to watch TNA because they are awful. I can't watch Ring of Honor because it isn't on my TV channels or available on the internet without it being taken down. The foreign ones are in foreign languages where I can't even understand the language at commentary, which means I sometimes can't follow what the hell is going on, but I would still watch it for my pleasure. WWE has some of the best wrestlers in the world, and you're thinking, they're entertainers, they're talkers, they're performers, I don't understand. And honestly, this coming back onto the wrestling internet for the first time in the best part of 2.5 weeks, for me to find this just makes me sick. And I want to see, like it says in the bottom of the article that I have here, which has a link to the actual article, may I add, that I want to see wrestlers entertain me with their moves, with their promos that make me want to see a match. That's what was important. That was what mattered back in 2003 when I started watching. And today, I see that heart and passion still there by some. The Miz may be an entertainer, but he's also a damn passionate guy who wanted to reach the top pinnacle of a wrestling organisation, and he has done that. Because he put heart and soul into it. These other guys, Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. I can even go back even further. Bruno Sammartino, Harley Race, SD Jones, Lou Thez, Gorgeous George. All these guys who have come up are wrestlers who have put their lives through it all to entertain us with their moves, with their physique, for their ability to wow us with what they can do, which we as mere mortals, no matter how many times we try at home, injure ourselves in failing to do. And Vince McMahon goes off his head and says, well, they're entertainers. Yeah. You think you're entertainment? You let one of your employees die, and then you effectively just let the show go on. That is effectively what you did in 1999, Vince, with the Owen Hart tragedy. And I'm looking at you out, Vince, and thinking, yeah, you are a monopolizing global company now. You are the head of it, which has $1 billion price tag. And now it makes me feel that I want to see you go out of your company. Let someone else with a wrestling brain take it over. I don't care if it's Triple H or Stephanie McMahon, your daughter. I don't even care if Shane comes back after hearing this comment and going, yeah, I want to take a wrestling company back. Because come on. This is ridiculous. Because all the guys who have passed on, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, maybe not so much him knowing the reputation he's given, but other people like British Bulldog, Yokozuna, Hercules, and loads of others who are no longer here, who put themselves through wrestling for you, are now probably rolling in their graves thinking that they were entertainers. It's not a show, because people like me put passion into it. We put passion, we put the fire in our bellies into supporting it, because we want to see people fight. We want to see them wrestle, because it gives us satisfaction in knowing that the guy we are supporting goes and puts on all out for us. And yet, entertainers do a shallow impression of that. Entertainers go out there, read a few lines, give up, smoke a cigarette, and then just wait for the money to roll in. Oh yeah, that's Charlie Sheen again. I am honestly sick to my stomach that WWE, the biggest wrestling company in the world, are no longer admitting that this is where they belong. WWF, WWWF, WWE, they're the three acronym names they've been under since 1960 something. I think it's 1963, I gotta remember, but I'm in a really bad mood right now and I can't think. The thing is, under the fact that wrestling has been the second initial in that name ever since it was founded, it just doesn't make any sense to completely ignore the wrestling aspect that made you a foundation, a pillar, a house, a palace, or even a mansion of the wrestling world. You can get rid of everything else apart from the wrestling, the fans would still come back. Get rid of the wrestling, fans would go. Because like it says in a comment section, down on this article that is connected in the bottom of this comment page, okay? Look at it. And it says in one of the comments, one day when there is no matches on Raw, I will stop being a fan. Because that, after what was said in this TVWeek.com article, looks like to have happened. Is that Vince is going to basically put no matches on Raw one day and just have talk, celebrity promo, talk. 5-minute altercation outside the ring, talk. That's probably what's going to happen in the future, unless something can be done. And I want this to be spread. I was going to say on my video that I was going to do today, you guys can spread the word. Spread the word about the video and just get me out there so I can feel happy that you guys like what I'm doing. However, and this is an urgent cry, get this out there. Tell the people in the wrestling world what has just happened. Tell them that WWE is no longer being called a wrestling company because they feel offended to be connected with the past that made them so great. Tell them. Tell the wrestling fans you know what has happened and see what their reaction is. Spread the video with the share links. Give it all you can, because this needs to be added out. We need to take a stand and say to Vince McMahon, you've completely lost the fucking mind here. We are going to be the ones paying for your wrestlers' contracts. We're the ones who are technically funding your empire. Cut us some slack and give us what we want. That is wrestling. We do not want anything more than that. Because if we want anything else, we would have told you by now. Hell, we've asked you for years what we want from the product and you still don't give it. So to tell us you're not wrestling, it makes me so angry that I want to punch you in the face. And I would happily be one of many to do it. Because I bet if I tell people about this, they probably will ignore me. But some of the people who will listen will look at this and say, yeah, this is bullshit. This is category A bullshit. And I am not happy with it. And I will watch WrestleMania anyway, because I'm a wrestling fan, and I'm going to look forward to seeing some good wrestling in 2 weeks. I'm going to record Raw tonight and watch it. But if anything else happens that spurs me off like this again, I am going to stop watching the product. I will have the DVDs that remind me of what wrestling is, but I will not watch a product which doesn't fully embrace wrestling. And I've got that out of my system. I can finally say that I'm going to re-record my original video next week. or maybe the week after. Depends what time I have. Thank you, everybody who has decided to watch this incredibly personal rant of mine. Press the like button, press the subscribe button, spread the video, spread the word, click on the link down below to read more about it, and I will see you guys next week. See ya.